everybody, it is day 12 of our fasting. Hey, did you know there was such a thing like the God of the stomach, like the appetites of our stomach can be a God too? Well, Philippians chapter 3:19 talks about that. Their destiny is destruction and their God is their stomach. And because they set their mind on earthly things. Now, I can relate to that because there's a point in my life where food meant everything. I couldn't afford to go hungry. Now, think about the people that have made that choice like Adam and Eve, right from the beginning. God tells them, you can eat of every tree, but not from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Well, the devil plays a part in this. They're tempted and they decide to eat. And next thing you know, they're kicked out of Eden. They're kicked out of God's blessing. Why? Because they decided to obey the God of their stomach, because they couldn't afford to go hungry. They couldn't afford to ignore the appetites of their stomach for a season. They literally ate themselves out of God's blessing. They literally ate themselves out of the presence of God because of the God of the stomach. What about Esau? Esau was the firstborn of Isaac. He was entitled to the double portion of his father's estate. He had the birthright blessing on him. And in Genesis 25, he comes back from the field. He finds his brother Jacob. He's down there eating a bowl of lentil soup. And Esau says, can you give me some? And Jacob says, no, unless you give me your birthright, unless you give me your blessing. And Esau despised the blessing of God in his life. He despised God's destiny. And he said, what good is a birthright? And what good is what God has for me? Give me the bowl of soup. And he ate himself out of God's plan and purpose for his life. Are you fasting because you believe God has something for you? Do you want God's presence in 2020? Do you want God's destiny? I'm excited because as you fast, you're breaking this power of the stomach, and you will not let the God of the stomach be a God in your life. Think about Jesus. He was not subject to the God of the stomach. After he was tempted, he said no. Why? Because he knew there was only one God to be worshipped. Now, as you fast, you are declaring that, look, stomach and your appetites, you're not a God in my life. I will afford to go hungry for a season. I will afford to not fill you up for a season because I want God's blessing. I want what God has for me this year, 20. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. God bless.